Hey guys, welcome to the Highlysober Hangout movie review sneak peek series. I am your host, Gerald Yelverton, and today we're talking about Despicable Me 2, the 2013 animation adventure comedy. The sneak peek series is a series where we break down movies that are currently in the theaters. I know what you're saying. You're saying, but Gerald, Despicable Me 2 is not in theaters. This came out in the summer. That is absolutely correct. It did come out July 4th weekend. But right now we are in the middle of our award season coverage. And Despicable Me 2 is one of those movies that is seemingly marching to the nomination for Best Animated Film of the Year. So I figured, hey, let's do a sneak peek on it. Despicable Me 2 was written by Cinco Paul and Ken Darrow. It's directed by Pierre Coffin and Chris Renaud. And it stars the voice talents of Steve Carell, Kristen Wiig, Benjamin Bratt, Miranda Cosgrove, Russell Brand, Ken Jeong, Steve Coogan, and Isla Fisher. Elsie Fisher.
Good night, Edith. Good night, Margo. Hold the horses. Who are you texting?
My friend Avery.
Avery. Avery. Is it a girl's name or a boy's name?
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter unless it's a boy.
I know what makes you a boy.
Who you do?
Your bald head.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes I stare at it and imagine a little chick popping out. Beep, beep, beep.
Good night, Agnes. Never get older.
Mr. Gru, Agent Lucy Wilde of the Anti-Villain League. You're gonna have to come with me.
Oh, sorry.
You know, you really should announce your weapons after you fire them. For example, lipstick taser! Get in there!
Anti-Villain League, dedicated to fighting crime on a global scale. A new villain has surfaced. You know how a villain thinks. That's why we brought you here.
Pins and needles.
I am the League's director, Silas Ramsbottom.
Bottom.
Hilarious.
Are you really gonna save the world?
That's right, baby. Gru's back in the game with cool cars, gadgets,
How are they working?
and weapons.
In Despicable Me 2, Gru is recruited by the Anti-Villain League to help deal with a powerful new super criminal. Now, I did see this in the theater over the summer. When I saw this movie, I had not seen the first Despicable Me. I know it was a huge hit, but that was just a movie that I didn't get around to seeing. And honestly, with this year being pretty lackluster as far as animated films go, I decided, hey, I'll go and I'll sit in this one. And I was pleasantly surprised. It was a lot of fun, and I understood what was going on. I knew the storyline of Despicable Me, where is this villain, and now he has some kids and things like that. And it seemed like in this movie there was some character development where he turned over a new leaf. His new role was pretty much being, dad to these girls, and he gets brought back into the Anti-Villain League, where basically the villain becomes a hero to take on former villains. I really liked it. I thought Steve Carell did a great job as Gru. The character it's funny because when you go see these movies, especially like on a weekend, You're sitting in the theater with a bunch of families and kids, and it's funny to go see these movies, and things that you necessarily wouldn't laugh at as an adult, you start to laugh at because all the kids are laughing. Like, oh yeah, that really was funny. But like a lot of animated movies, sitting in the theater as an adult, you definitely take away certain nuances and jokes that are in the film that you necessarily wouldn't as a kid. And so it was very entertaining. I had a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. Like I said, Steve Carell did a great job. I was really interested in seeing this because Kristen Wiig was voicing a character, and I love Kristen Wiig. I think she's really funny. And this movie, I would say, out of all of the animated movies that come out so far this year, this movie had the best trailer. When Kristen Wiig hits Gru with like the lipstick taser and things like that. It was a lot of fun. Benjamin Bratt playing Eduardo and El Macho was really funny. Who turns out to be the other villain, and everyone, you can kind of see it coming, but Gru doesn't see it, and it was really funny. Miranda Cosgrove did a great job. Russell Brand, Ken Jeong always, and this movie pretty much lives and dies with the minions. The minions are really funny in this. The final battle is great when you have the good minions versus the evil minions, and the world's in peril. So yeah, I really liked it. I mean, if you have kids, you've probably already seen this because this is one of the highlights of the summer, and a lot of people saw this on a $76 million budget opening weekend. This was $83 million, and to date has made $367 million. So pretty much I think everyone has seen this movie, and it actually just came out on DVD this week. So you probably either have it or you bought it for your kids and it's in their stocking stuffers or something like that. Just talking about animation really quick, since this is the first animated film that I've talked about in our sneak peek series. 2013 just wasn't a great year for animated films. I mean, I saw a pretty good number of them. I haven't seen Frozen yet. That's currently in the theaters. I'm planning to go see that. But it seems like the big one, at least here at the start of award season, is this movie called The Wind Also Rises, which I think is a Japanese film. I'm not sure if it's in English or if it's Japanese. You have to read the subtitle, but that seems like the one that everyone's looking at. And I'm surprised that Pixar really isn't in the hunt. I think the Pixar film that they put out this year was The Monsters University, and that was actually my favorite animated film. Like I said, I haven't seen Disney's Frozen yet, so I'm still going to see that. But yeah, it was that. Pixar also put out Planes, which I saw, but it was incredibly boring. I fell asleep during that, and I woke up towards the end and I kind of saw it, but it's just not the same. And I think, giving them the benefit of the doubt, the reason I didn't like that was because earlier in the summer I saw the movie Turbo, which was I believe by DreamWorks, and it was about the snail who wanted to race. And I really, really, really liked that movie. I thought it was really funny. Again, I was laughing at things that I wouldn't necessarily laugh at because there were kids in the theater, but it was that movie was a lot of fun, and I thought that was one of those movies where if you're an adult, you saw one movie versus another movie. And I thought it was really creative to do that, to take one of the slowest creatures on the planet Earth and have them race and all the dangers and things like that. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's really good. And then I saw, like I said, Monsters University, which I really liked. And then I went and saw Planes, and Planes was essentially the same movie as Turbo. But, it was more, it had a more of a PG feel because it's about this crop duster that wants to be a race plane. And it's like, No, it was the same as a snail wanted to be a race car. It was the exact same movie, but it just didn't. It wasn't as funny. And then earlier in the year, I saw an advanced screening of Freebirds, which we'll break down at another time. But even that didn't hold up to the movies that I saw in the summer. But this happens a lot where one movie comes out and one studio puts out a movie and another studio puts out another movie. We saw it earlier with Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down, years ago with Bug's Life and Ants, and Finding Nemo or Shark Tale. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. There's like all those Penguin movies that came out around the same time. So yeah, it was just I don't know. I know this is supposed to be about Despicable Me too, but I'm definitely going to say you should see this movie. I'm going to give this a rating of 2.5 out of 5 stars. Out of the movies that are available this year, that you're going to get your kids for Christmas or take them to see, or you're going to sit down and watch with them, I highly recommend this over many of the movies that came out this year. Yeah, so that is Despicable Me 2. I am your host, Gerald Yelverton. You can always hit us up at any Highly Sober link at Gmail. That's our email. On YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, IMDb. Yeah. And until next time, thanks for being awesome.
It's Friday night, and where will we go? Driving around, 'cause no one really knows. Let's talk of a party on 25 Chapman Road. This is where the party's at tonight. It's gonna be alright.